Good evening and welcome to Xbox Tavern's Xpod Tavern, episode 48. Another lovely Sunday evening at 8 p.m. ish. I'm Jamie and I'm joined once again by Daniel.
Hello.
Graham.
Hello.
And Ross.
Hello.
How are we, gentlemen? Having a wonderful weekend, I hope.
Lovely.
Spiffing.
Maybe a small bit tender from last night, but we're all good. We've composed ourselves. We've got the shit on the road.
That's the main thing. As long as we get the ships sailing smoothly and then it can crash into some rocks in about 5 minutes time when everything goes tits up. No Ian this week. He's currently suffering with the COVIDs. So
the
get well
Ronas.
soon, Ian.
It'll be Jay next week.
It fucking better not be, I tell you, because I'm not missing out on EGX. So I'm gonna wrap myself up as a bubble wrap now, I think, just to be sure.
Actively avoiding London just so I don't catch it.
Actively avoid London until we go to London, and then all bets are off.
Then it's all fair game.
That's okay. We'll just get like spray bottles of hand sanitizer as people come near us.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go all Trump then and say swallow some.
Yeah. Take some bleach with us.
Bleach and all that other. We're not give that cunt any more airtime, shall we?
No.
You can find us, the quick bit of plugs, on xboxtavern.com, at Xbox Tavern on Twitter. Just search it, Jeeves it, or Google it, whatever one you want to use, and you'll find us, hopefully. Let us know if you don't find us, and we'll try and fix that. We are sponsored this week, once again, by MANSCAPED. So, Ross, please play the video.
This podcast is brought to you by MANSCAPED, who are the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. MANSCAPED offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. MANSCAPED just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. So join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code XboxTavern20 at manscaped.com. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed and optimised trimmer that makes shaving time your favourite time in the bathroom. It's time to get your own ball hair and body trimmer with Manscaped to make me time the best time and enhance your confidence with some nice, smooth boys. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code XboxTavern20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using promo code XboxTavern20. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using promo code.
Thank you very much, Manscaped, for sponsoring the podcast once again. And as Ross so elegantly told you just a moment ago, head over there, use the code, get 20% off and free worldwide shipping, and your balls will thank you. So, one more quick bit of plugging going on. Episode 50, as we've alluded to last few weeks, coming up very soon, 2 weeks' time.
Shall we divulge any more information, or shall we just keep on the QT?
we could add a few more teases going on right now. So,
love a good tease.
We've got a couple of competitions running on Twitter at the minute, so you can win. Was it Daniel? Copy of Lake.
Copy of Lake. If you review the podcast on Apple Podcasts, and then you can win Game Pass Ultimate for 12 months. If you go on and go to gleam.io, I might have to retweet that out at some point.
Yeah, I did it just before we put the podcast up. But yeah, it's all there. Follow the instructions. It's very simple. And then you can enter your competition to win 12 months of Game Pass Ultimate.
Yes.
Which
can I enter?
You can't. Oh. Graham might be able to. I might let him do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Definitely not Ross.
No.
You know them funny Scots up there.
Yeah. I'll have it up on eBay for like double its value by the end of the night.
Should we say it enhances your chances to leave sort of 5 stars and leave a comment on the podcast as well?
Oh, I'd have to be too much interconnecting for everyone.
No, Dan.
Give Dan more work. It definitely enhances
he's done work for you now.
He's adamant. He's adamant. I've got to do more work tonight, so he can damn well do something.
Yeah. So head over to Twitter. You'll find the competition for Game Pass Ultimate, as well as Lake. We'll announce the winners on episode 50. And if you're very good, boys and girls, we might even have a few more codes to give away throughout the show and around the whole affair. Hint, hint. i.e., you might want to listen/watch to episode 50 because we're going to have a few goodies to
Few surprises in
part ways
hand.
with, a few surprises. It also, I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but there's an event in London called EGX that weekend as well. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like a video game show in London.
Yeah.
Just sort of throw it out there. Might be something worth looking at.
Coming up, is it?
It's coming up. Yeah, I think it's let me get the right date. I think it's Friday the 8th of October is the main day.
Should be some
I think
good
it
news
goes-
stories that weekend.
Yeah, I think it goes Thursday to Sunday, but Friday the 8th is going to be the best day, I think. So if you're there, let us know, and let us know how you get on. And you might possibly, you might be able to spot us. I don't know how you'll tell us apart from the rest of the crowd.
No,
You'll
not
have
the
to,
slightest.
you'll have to let us know if you spot us out in the wild.
Although
all
we're
look like us.
manscaped, you can't see that part.
No.
Well, let's not rule anything out, shall
we have got Dan on the show, so
Yeah.
nothing's off the table.
So yeah.
Yeah, or on the table. Right.
Oh, well.
If you see
Episode-
anyone looking smooth,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Ian's always looking smooth, isn't he? So right.
all over.
Episode 50, as I said, we'll be giving away a couple of game codes, probably more, i.e., hint, probably more game codes and various other codes. So come along, have a watch, have a listen, and it'll be a wonderful time. But that's 2 weeks away. Let's talk about things now, shall we?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There's some sort of video games going on. So let's talk about Perfect Dark. Who here, before we get into it, who here has played the original Perfect Dark on the N64?
What was the other
Or
one? Was
its
there not?
re-release.
Was there not another one?
There was a 360 launch title, which was utter shite.
I played
So we
that,
just
and
kind of
I don't
slide
think
off that one.
you only got one achievement throughout the whole playthrough, and it was for completing the game, and the rest of the achievements were either multiplayer or something else. I feel like that was the one I played.
It was some. I vaguely remember some sort of bullshit like that. Yeah, but that game was dreadful.
Yeah.
It looked terrible. It played terrible. And after the N64 one, which was actually really good, it was just a massive miss. Gray, did you play? I know we spent a lot of time playing Golden. I don't remember if you played. Perfect
No,
Dark.
I think I briefly sort of saw it, but that was about it. And
What about
yeah,
yourself, Daniel?
No, I didn't. I missed the boat on the 360 and never played the N64 version.
Fair enough.
You
So
wait,
we're
but did you miss the boat completely on the 360? Did you mean?
No,
No, I was going to say, what the fuck?
No, I don't know why I didn't play it. I was either consumed by FIFA at the time.
More than likely.
Never.
Yeah, like I had a proper FIFA addiction.
£80 a month on Ultimate Team.
Yeah, I mean that was in the latter stages. That's when I was close to retiring. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, basically, we're not a massive crew of Perfect Dark fans. So, obviously, the initiative announced. What was it? Was it E3 this year or last year? Oh no, sorry. Here it says here. The
28
Game Awards.
Yeah, Game
2020.
Awards.
They announced that this quadruple A studio had been set up to create a reboot of Perfect Dark, and it's gone a bit quiet since then. But they announced on Twitter just the other day, and I'm reading off Windows Central here, that the initiative developer of upcoming first-person shooter Perfect Dark announced on Thursday that the team is partnering with Crystal Dynamics in order to develop the upcoming near-future spy thriller. So obviously Crystal are the same guys who rebooted Tomb Raider recently and did what's it called? Is it called just called Marvel's The Avengers or something?
Yeah, Marvel Avengers.
Online service game. So apparently they're helping out for some reason or other. They noted that the game is still in early development, but the two teams are working together. Apparently Daryl Gallagher, who is the studio head of the initiative, is the former head of Crystal Dynamics. So there's a bit of fusion fingers going on there. But obviously Square Enix own Crystal Dynamics, whereas Microsoft owns the initiative. So again, it's a bit more fusion fingers and perhaps leading some sort of credence to that rumor we talked about last week where they might possibly be looking at buying either Sega or Square. And any thoughts on that before we carry on with the Perfect Dark stuff?
They're still too sparse with the details for me to get excited for anything yet.
yeah.
I think I'd prefer Square than Sega.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not a massive Sega fan in terms of all
I mean-
their back catalog. Sorry.
I mean, who likes Sonic?
as Ross has to say, how do we make this a 2-man podcast? Man? Can we just kick them out? I don't know if we can do it.
I'll end the meeting now. Hang on, where's the button?
Yeah. So obviously, Perfect Dark being developed by the Initiative. I think the main thing that we've sort of got to take away from this is this studio was set up to create like the biggest, as I said, quadruple A game that they possibly could to rival people like Naughty Dog or Sucker Punch or Insomniac at Sony. And now for some reason they've got Crystal Dynamics, who haven't had the best track record of late, helping them out with it. I don't know if that spells concern or if it spells they're just getting ahead of any sort of future problems or something. Any thoughts on why they could possibly want to team up with them of all teams that they would go with, or why they need to team up with anyone?
I don't know if it's foreseen any issues, but obviously Marvel have got a lot of faith in the Initiative. Not the Initiative, I'm getting mixed up with the Coalition there. Yeah, what was I going to say?
Crystal.
Ignore me. I went down the wrong track.
Yeah, we got to forgive Ross. He's a little bit sensitive
Sorry.
today. His head's a bit muggy. Have a drink, Ross. That'll clear you up.
As he does.
Cheers.
I think this is what it seems a bit worrying, doesn't it? You're bringing in another team to help you. As you say, you're meant to be the biggest, brightest kind of shining light for the Microsoft or the Xbox brand, and you need to bring in someone to help you this early on. Now, I don't think Crystal Dynamics did a bad job of Marvel's Avengers. The game wasn't great, and they lacked future content.
I suppose that could also be partly Square's fault for sort of pushing them down that monetization route. But I mean, they did brilliantly with the Tomb Raider games, I thought, to be fair.
Well, yeah, I was going to say Tomb Raider was awesome. Marvel's not too bad as a game playing the linear story, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel. Something feels off. Yeah,
it just seems odd that, like I said, I keep saying it, but this massive Uber studio was created, and now they're like, obviously, it's not unusual for a studio to have outsourcing work. So I mean, plenty of even Rockstar outsources it to studios all over the world to help them, but then obviously the main team do the main crux of the development.
Yeah,
but to have such a high-profile assist and announce it when you've only shown a brief CGI trailer, so you haven't even shown any of the game off yet. It seems odd.
Maybe there's a bit more to come still.
Yeah. What do you expect, Greg? You think that they've shit the bed, or they're in over their head, or
maybe a bit of both? But obviously, getting another team, it means they need a few more hands on deck, and getting someone that's done it recently and what not to do. It can only be a good thing to get a team in like that.
Yeah. But hopefully it spells good things, but they haven't announced when they're going to show any more of it, either of it yet.
No, so, I don't think there's been anything else.
We're still in the dark. Get it?
Dreadful.
Dad jokes for the win. Thanks, double team. The only other thing that sort of stood out to me when I read through this article was, let me just find the tweet real quick. The Initiative, again, we're partnered with Crystal Dynamics, world-class team behind character-driven games such as Tomb Raider, to bring this first-person spy thriller to a new generation. Obviously, Perfect Dark's always been first-person, but I thought when they did the teaser, it was sort of speculated it was going to be third-person, like something like Tomb Raider. So it's good to see they're actually sticking with a first-person game. Because again, in bringing in Crystal Dynamics, you'd think perhaps it was going to be more like something like Tomb Raider or Uncharted or Last of Us or something like that. So hope. But then, do they need another first-person game? Microsoft are crawling out for third-person adventures, really, didn't they? You got Halo and stuff like that already. I suppose Gears is a third-person, but
it depends when it's stated to come out, isn't it? I'm sure they're lining up all their ducks in a row to have. I guess we're going to have first person this year, and then who knows in the next few years how it's going to push out. Was the other two games first person?
Yeah.
Sticks with the same kind of formula, doesn't it?
It makes sense for it to be first person, but I could have swore I was reading around. Its reveal was, it could be a third-person action game, kind of, again like Tomb Raider or something. But yeah, so we still got a while to go. Yeah, I mean, as I said last week, the Game Awards are in December. Is it normally the first week of December? So we might see something again. It will have been a year since we saw anything from them then. But yeah, does anybody have? I know we said we're not really big fans of Perfect Dark here, but is anybody excited to learn more, knowing that Crystal Dynamics are helping them?
I can't see it makes much difference.
No, it's not a game that's caught my attention. It might be good when it comes out, but again, I'm probably held back by memories of what the 360 version was like. So
yeah,
I don't think it's. I want to see what they've got as opposed to speculate. I'd rather see what they drop when they drop it.
Fair enough. And that's the sensible answer. What you're supposed to do is go on Twitter and go, "Oh, I can't believe the fucking blah blah." Just be completely unreasonable and a bit of a twat. All right, so we'll see. Hopefully, again, like I said, Game Awards in a couple of months. If not, who knows? It's E3. When are we going to get some more on Fable? That's what we want to see.
that's desperately what I want to see.
I know that's the one we're more keen for, I think. But all right, let's get on to the biggest news stories. Really, I should have put this top really.
Surprised you didn't.
New details on Xbox Series X mini fridge are coming next month.
Oh,
Are you excited?
yeah!
I know Ian's going to be excited. Aaron Greenberg, who is the guy in charge of the marketing over at Xbox, responded to a tweet. Let me just get this. Brad Sams on Twitter. Someone in Circle Hopes will actually got a little one of those funny little visual tweets where it says Xbox mini fridge update. And he said, so great, Brad. I'm going to say this worked. We will share. That's how he sounds. We will share more information next month on the Xbox Series X mini fridge launch this holiday. Xbox and chill.
Oh,
Cheesy as fuck. But we're going to get some more news next month. So it still sounds like it's on for a holiday launch. Let's do a quick roundtable. Prices. Dan, what do you think? We'll do prices right rules.
250.
Graham.
180.
Ross.
249.
What did you say? 249?
249.
Oh, he's playing the game. He's playing the game. I'm going to go 199 or 200. Let's just round it up. Anybody else going to pick one up? Assuming that price obviously is reasonable.
The thing is, how big is it going to be? I think it's going to be like the same dimensions as the console.
I would have thought it would be roughly the same.
Because I reckon if that's going to be the case, my Series X is set up on my desk. I could probably get away with just sneaking it in. Like hide my console behind like my monitor and then just have the fridge there. So it'd be totally inconspicuous. It's just randomly one night, just like that. Shit.
So looking at the fridge, looking at the picture, whether it's
It looks like 4 cans in there.
It looks like 4 cans with there's space to get your hand in between, so they're not packed tight. They're slightly spaced. So yeah, I would say 4. Maybe at a push you'd get 6, but
let me see the American cans.
I was gonna say the piddly little fucking cans,
Red Bull looking things.
Yeah.
The thin ones. Yeah, I reckon you could get 2. I reckon you get 4 normal size cans of Coke.
Ian in the chat is hopefully you're feeling better, Ian. He said he reckons £99 for the mini fridge, which I think you are fucking mad, sir.
If it's 99, then we all have to get one. End of story.
Yeah, I mean, I'd pick one up if it's under 100. I'd push 150. I might get one.
If it's 249, like I've said, there's not hope in hell I'm picking one up.
Yeah. Again, it depends how much big it is, doesn't it? But
we'll need to work on the design. That picture looks like a fucking Lego brick rather than an Xbox at the moment.
I thought it was Lego, to be fair.
Hey, everybody loves a bit of Lego.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So yeah, we'll get details on it next month, and then let us know in the comments below if you're going to pick one up, or hit us up on Twitter or what have you. All right, next story, please, gentlemen. Xbox gets a new Edge browser that can play Stadia as well as other bits and pieces as well. Does anybody have Stadia?
I thought Stadia had went under.
I do have it, but I haven't played it.
I feel like it should have went under.
Yeah, so they've released a new dashboard. I think we've had it for a while in the alpha ring, but it's out for everybody now, which is the Chromium version of Edge. Gray, you're more of a tech whiz than I am. I assume that means something to you.
It's just Edge that runs similar to Chrome. It's the new version of Edge. They've even got a Chromie-like logo now,
the blue one.
Yeah. But rather than the hardcore fat blue E, it's like a little swirl, a bluey green swirl. But the actual new Edge actually runs pretty swift anyway. It's quite quick, and it looks essentially exactly like Chrome, and runs just as quick. Whereas the last Edge was kind of quick, but the new Chromium Edge is pretty decent actually.
Yeah. And so, have you tried it on the console, or is that just from your PC-based usage?
On my PC.
Yeah. So this will obviously let you play, as I said, Stadia. It'll also let you use Discord, although apparently it won't let you use like the voice chat function on Discord. It'll only let you sort of access to tabs and the various Discords, I guess.
But then is that to do with the partnership that Discord are with on? Didn't Discord partner with Sony?
Well, it says here that it will let you join voice calls, but it doesn't have microphone support.
It seems a bit redundant.
So you can hear people, but you can't talk back.
No.
So I guess it'd be good for people if they do like a hangout or something and you just want to join and listen, but you can't chat away back to people. So we couldn't use it for this, for example, or for playing games, whatever. And it also won't let you stream NVIDIA's GeForce Now.
Oh,
apparently it's blocked across all of Microsoft Edge. It's not just the Xbox One. So if you're using it on PC, you can't stream it through that either. But they're investigating support for it in the future, supposedly. But it's just a funky little update, I think. I mean, the browser on the console has always been fucking shit, really, isn't it?
Oh, it's terrible.
So any improvement has got to be a good thing.
I don't know why you'd be using your console to browse the internet anyway. You'd be using your phone.
The only time I've ever used it really was, when you go into the rewards thing and you click on one of them, it takes you to the browser.
Yeah.
And then I just sat there, I'll have a little play around. So I just went to xboxtavern.com, which you can do as well, by the way. You should go there. It's a lovely site.
What's the website?
You literally just said xboxtavern.com.
xboxtavern.com.
Oh, right.
I don't know if I can say it again. I might be accused of being cheesy, but you can go to xboxtavern.com. And just Google around the usual places I would usually look for the day, and it worked all right. But that was before this sort of update. I mean, it'd be intrigued to see if I can run the website and do all the back end stuff on there easier than some of the stuff I've got to use at the minute, but I haven't tried that yet. So if you're looking to look up things on your Xbox on the internets, definitely not those sort of things, ladies and gentlemen.
Behave yourself.
But it will work now, so you might as well,
Give it a go, see what happens.
Let us know. Comments below. All right, another quick one. Titanfall has had a possible tease from Respawn. There was some hubbub about them not wanting to do Titanfall or some sort of shit. And they tweeted out, contrary to what some folks are reporting, Titanfall is a very core of our DNA. Who knows what the future holds? Teasing motherfuckers. So they haven't announced anything, but they've also said it's still within them to be doing some. There was that was it GeForce Now leak the other day? Or
it was last week, wasn't it?
Last week, which one of the games listed was Titanfall 3. So it will be
Can you imagine a next gen Titanfall?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting quite excited just thinking about playing Titanfall as it is, to be honest, let alone the next gen one. So you never know. We might get some more Titanfall news at some point soon, if any of those sort of rumors and stuff. Obviously, Ross is keen. Silence, cool, okay.
No, Daniel... thing is, I love the Titanfall games. I'm just horribly bad at them.
Oh no, I'm fucking terrible at it, but I fucking love a bit of Titanfall. Ian loves a bit of Titanfall as well. Gray, I know you love a bit of Titanfall. Don't even answer. You don't need to answer. Nope. It's fine. I know you love it. It's fine. Daniel, Titanfall?
Oh, 100%. I was thinking about playing it the other day, and then I got slightly concerned about the bricking console thing, so I didn't bother. But yeah, I'd love to do a Titanfall kind of play around again. It is an awesome game.
What a game! Everybody should play that.
Titanfall's awesome.
Oh yes.
I mean, I wouldn't say so far about Dishonored. That's an average game, I suppose. But
So you didn't even finish it, did you? I bet you did.
it's because it's average.
Oh, this is fucking
Time to
outrageous.
play average stealth games.
I'm gonna have to, when we that EGX
Better than
day
me,
is
I
gonna
don't
be
play
one,
any stuff.
it's gonna be fucking uncomfortable shit now because I'm just gonna ignore you the whole day.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Jay.
Just
Whoa.
sorry, I thought there was someone coming down from Scotland, but I don't know. All right, one last one again, super quick. Halo Infinite is on this weekend. I believe it's on. I think it's on tomorrow as well, isn't it? Tomorrow's the last day, and then it's back on again next weekend. The tech preview. They've kind of stuffed us over in the UK because they've done it. It's 6 till 10 p.m, which isn't too bad, and then it's off again until 1 a.m. till 5 a.m. I think it was, which is a bit shit because that effectively means you've got 4 hours per day, whereas the people in the States get 8 hours. First world problems and all that, but I played it. I played with Graham. We played with our man Jake on from XboxTavern.com. Go check it out. And we had a great time. I did fucking dreadful, but we had a great time. Great. How did you enjoy your first taste? Because you didn't get to play it last time.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost like I never left off from sort of Halo 2. Definitely got Halo 2 vibes from it. The 4-on-4 combat's just, if you go out in the open, you get hammered. Yeah. And then until you pick up the hammer yourself and then start twat hammering them back.
You were always a fan of that hammer as far as I remember. And you
made
yourself known with it.
It's awesome.
I hammered my way through them. It's won us that game.
Yeah, it's great fun. Did you find, like you said, it sort of felt more like the old game, but did you find the new movement like sprinting and mantling and stuff? Were you using it much, or were you just trying to play it like the old games?
I was kind of playing like the old games. I did like the jump and climb up bit. That's kind of useful. I couldn't get on with any of the sort of active abilities shit, sort of throwing the shield out and doing the Power Rangers pose where he goes through. I didn't even know what the fuck that was until you told me it was a deflect. I was like, nothing tells you what that shit was. He just randomly goes, oh, good, I've got 3 of those poses. I can mug them off if I kill someone. So, yeah. But other than that, I was just playing like them. Grenades the same way. Melee, if you get close enough to sort of smash them about with. Yeah, it's almost like I was playing Halo 2 again, but with upgraded and looks much better.
It was great fun. I had a great time. Like I said, I did fucking terrible, but had a great time. Dan, you said you've been playing some?
I played some. I unfortunately missed the multiplayer part of it, so I jumped in and did some kind of bot battles and the weapon art. What's it called again? Where you just try out the weapons and try and shoot the targets in 30 seconds.
Shooting range or whatever.
Target mode.
Yeah. So messed around with that. And it's quite funny. We kind of were big fans of Splitgate. And I noticed I kind of had a comparison. I was like, Splitgate and Halo, as much as they're kind of similar, there is a vast difference on Splitgate's speed versus Halo. Halo is so much more faster, smoother type of first-person shooter, whereas Splitgate is not now. So,
although just on the subject of
it.
Splitgate, have you seen that it's getting a Forge mode before Halo will?
They took great joy in tweeting out. I think the other day, didn't they?
I was like, oh well, that's that's interesting.
I'm not really sure what a Forge mode of Splitgate could do, but I'd be intrigued to try it out for sure.
The fact that they're getting it before Halo is more the story, I would think.
Well, I mean, they've also just signed, was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? Like how many £1 million deal or
£100 million? Or
dollars, whatever. Deal with somebody, so they've got money to burn now. So I suppose if they can stoke the fire, it gives them more talk time. But anyway, I found it a lot more faster, and I enjoyed it. So I'm really looking forward to trying to play the bloody thing with some friends.
Yeah, but this weekend, luckily, this beta or tech preview, I should say, is on this weekend. Like I said, tomorrow is the last day. And then next weekend it's back, but next weekend is big team battle focused. So at the moment, as Graham said, it's just 4v4. I played a little bit before we started recording today, and they've added some more new maps and stuff in. And there was one with actual vehicles, the Warthog and the Mongoose and stuff. It wasn't a massive map, but it was big enough. It kind of reminded me, I can't remember the name of it, but there was one of the DLC ones in Halo 2. It was sort of like an oval sort of shape with like a central structure. That was good fun. And but next week's big team back focus. So we'll have to get a big group of us together and get kicking some ass.
Yes.
And I'll see if I can fucking best my death streak of 16.
Once we've all finished playing Psychonauts.
Once we've finished playing Psychonauts, of course, which obviously we've all played.
Yep.
I haven't played any more this week, but
numerous times.
I would like to have got back to it this week, but I haven't had a chance. Anyway, so get out there, get playing some Halos. Let us know. And one quick thing I wanted to mention, because I put a tweet out just before we started again. The melee, Graham, Dan, did you notice when you were going up against people, if you sort of butt up head to head straight away, you melee them, they melee you back. Fair enough. But then they melee you again before you get a chance to get your second attack in.
No, that's not the way I roll. If you go melee first, you're always going to end up going looing. You have to shoot a bit and then finish with the melee. It's always shoot the melee. You don't never go in straight away with the melee. But
what I'm getting at is the time it takes for me to go punch, punch. They go punch, punch. And I don't know how they're doing it so fast. I hit them, they hit me twice before I can hit them a second time.
I did want to say it was something to do with old man reflexes, but
that's what I thought. But
especially when Dan was about to agree with it as well. There, so.
I was about to agree, but then I'm also gonna put a caveat on that by saying, have you got the punch button as your thumbstick push in?
Yeah.
They may have mapped it to a button.
Yeah, bottom one.
Maybe. The response I've just got here is there's a glitch people are doing where you can rapid melee if you spam melee and reload buttons at once. So basically, if you hit melee and reload at the same time, you just do that super quick.
Oh.
Because if you watch the video I put up, it is honestly rapid fast. It's like fucking Bruce Lee was like there's no way I could have won that battle, even though technically I got the first hit in.
It's now confirmed in chat that Ian is also agreeing it's because you're old. So.
Yeah, I know. Again, I assumed it would be because I'm old, but it happened so many times. I was like, this can't just be this.
Can't just be my pensioner reflexes.
Yeah, hopefully they can fix that. Because that was some bullshit. I lost many battles, and I couldn't change my weapon when we played the other day. Everybody starts with a pistol and an assault rifle, and the Y button to change weapon wasn't working. I eventually had to go in and set all my controllers back, to reset the things to default to get it to let me change my weapon. I don't know why, but that's why.
It's probably because you had some sort of shit on inverted.
I had some shit on inverted, but that was really weird. Anyway, Halo, it's good though. It's good fun. Aside from those little bugs, it's good fun so far. So we should play some more next weekend. Hopefully get a big group of us in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn straight. Right. That's about all the news. It was a bit of a quieter week this week. We still managed to stretch it out for I don't know how long. So let's keep going, shall we? We're on the last day of our 30-day, 30 game, 30 video, 30-day, 30 video game challenge, which is the big one.
The main one.
Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite game of all time. So I'm going to go. In fact, you know what? I'm going to give Ian a shout out first because he asked me to. He would have picked, had he been here with us today. Ian, I got you. The Legend of Dragoon, which I believe, I told him I'd do research, but I didn't. I do believe it was a PS1 game, like an RPG. I'm just quickly Jeeves in it now. And yeah, he talks about that game every chance he gets. So he loved it. So Legend of Dragoon, I'm sure he'll tell us all about it next week when he's back. But that's for you, Ian. I did you proud.
Oh, yeah.
Ross, tell us about yours, please.
It's got to be Mass Effect 2, doesn't it? Greatest game ever made.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but
it does.
Yeah, I suppose it could
be. It's an unwritten rule that if you're a video game player, then Mass Effect 2 is your favourite game of all times.
That was in the contract I signed, actually, now you mentioned it.
Exactly. You could have picked a list a mile long and everybody would have said, I can see where you're coming from. For mine, you could have had like The Witcher, you could have had Skyrim to an extent just for the sheer story and lore side of it and things like that. But Mass Effect 2 is probably the one that sticks out with the most for the story, the score, the characters you meet in the game, the visuals, just the whole package of it. There wasn't anything in Mass Effect 2 that I could hold against it. So
that's fair enough.
It's
a very, very good game, certainly. And I'm sure our good friend Kaninch, if he's listening, will be shouting out and being like, "That man, I want to buy him a pint." 'Cause I agree completely. I don't know if that's his favorite one. Do you know, Gray? I'm pretty sure it is.
What Pete's favorite one?
Yeah, Pete. I'm sure his favorite is Mass Effect 2 as well.
Yeah, out of those ones, whether it's his of all time.
Yeah, I mean just out of the Mass Effect ones, but definitely, well, it's not going to beat Final Fantasy 8, is it? Goat for him.
Probably something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, good shout, Ross. Mass Effect 2. Do you think that it? Hang on, I've lost the train of thought now. I had a question then. Gone. Anyone else got a question? Save me from my nightmare.
I think it's a good shout. There's not much you can say, can you? Mass Effect
Thank you, Daniel.
was awesome.
Cool. Mass Effect for the win. Graham.
Some uncultured swine in the chat has said Final Fantasy 8 for the win, but he doesn't know what he's talking about, so it's fine.
Well, clearly not, because all the other plays is Football Manager. So
Exactly.
Graham, the other Graham, please save us. Tell me your favorite game of all time.
Yeah, I had to split between two. I just couldn't pick one out of the other. So the first one I will say is Phantasy Star Online, the one that was on the Dreamcast, just because it was one of the only games I managed to play for like 13, 14 hours straight, and just couldn't get enough of it at the time. It was just proper engrossed into that whole kind of storyline and everything. It was amazing. And the other one was just like it was a massive treasure of a game, and you know how much I loved it back in the day. Guardian Heroes.
I was wondering if Guardian Heroes had come up.
It's just every time I go back to it, it just makes me happy to play that game.
It's a fantastic game.
It is a fantastic game. Sort of scrolling, multi-planes, different story. You can play it through in different ways, and love that game. Great soundtrack to it as well, and of course it has the Golden Warrior. The best AI that you're ever going to come across.
Just fucking absolutely decimates everybody. Fills the screen with the explosion.
Send him on a berserk. You get to command him. Just say, go nuts. And he fucking just destroys the whole map and just kills everyone. Not you, but it literally rinses all the other enemies.
Yeah.
As
much as my history with that game with you is a little bit tainted from a certain aspect. I fucking love that game. It's a great game. It looked really good as well, didn't it? For the Saturn, it was a fucking lovely looking game.
Every time I think about it, I think of the rocking soundtrack, the Golden Warrior, and it just makes me happy inside.
Yeah, as long as it's got a decent soundtrack, and not a certain other song. Anyway, Daniel.
Yes.
Have you got a favorite game of all time? Have you played enough to have got a favorite game? Sorry, I had to get.
Thank you for the jab.
I had to get a little digging.
Yeah. So
Can you remember that far back, Dan?
So I can ever so slightly. So I had a toss up. I didn't know whether to look at this
before the show or during it.
Well, a bit of both. Finished off. Whether it was the game that I played the most, would that have been my favorite game of all time, or was it one that kind of took me into the story and made me kind of just play it for hours on end and try to finish it? So in the end, I picked Fallout 3 and not Walking Dead. All right. Walking Dead did not win. So yeah, Fallout 3, I think, is possibly my all-time favorite. I started it many, many times because at first I couldn't get on with the whole idea of reading texts, going through kind of dialogue choices, etc., etc. However, that final time that I kind of hit that play and went through and played the game, it was like, yep, it clicks. I love it. You know, I was scouring around the wasteland looking for every bit of junk and shite that I could scrap or sell at the time so I could get my caps. But yeah, Fallout 3, I think, is possibly the game for me.
As somebody who loves the Fallout series, why did 3 get the top spot over New Vegas?
New Vegas I never finished.
Shut up, Jay.
New Vegas I never finished, and it was on the cusp of, I'm trying to think which way it's released. I can't remember now. It was 3, then New Vegas, wasn't it? And
yes.
Then 4. Yeah, I know I didn't finish New Vegas. Fallout 3, I want to say I did. And if I didn't, I know I played all the expansions and bought all the expansions with it and played through them all. one, I should really go back and play it, but I haven't got time.
Without
Nobody's got time to do that.
without belittling your choice, finish New Vegas and then see if your opinion stands.
I don't think
will.
I've got
It will,
time
Dan,
for
don't
like a
worry.
40, 50 hour
Someone
game.
clearly doesn't know Dan.
Well,
Yeah, I'd love to say I would, but let's be honest, I couldn't even finish a 25-hour game of what was it, The Outer Worlds, and that game, it was supposedly really, really good, and I enjoyed that as well. But
That's
anyway,
pretty
yeah.
good.
Fallout 3.
Fallout 3. I must admit, that's a surprising choice, I think, from
oh, definitely. I wasn't
To hear
expecting
from
that
you.
for Dan.
But yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good,
No,
great game.
I do enjoy that, and I enjoyed Mass Effect as well, and the Mass Effect series. And it's hard because those were the two games that I would struggle with because of the reading text, going through all that kind of a roller coaster of emotions and trying to find the right way or right path to go. But I think Fallout 3 is probably the one that goes to my heart the most.
Only thing that I think Fallout doesn't do well enough is your
Just fix the bugs.
well, that's Bethesda, so we're used to that. Is their companions?
Yeah,
I don't feel a particular draw
connection.
towards them. Like Mass Effect, for example, Garrus, Rex,
Yeah.
Tally. But I
They're no Lydia, though, are they?
I just didn't get it. Oh, fucking. I just don't get it. The same sort of feel with
Dog meat.
the Fallout games. Well, dog meat is with that, just because I've got a German Shepherd, so kind of.
What was the what was
I
the
can see
Super
that.
Mutants guy you get to come with you
What one?
Jesus.
Because they're
in
strong.
Fallout 3?
They're strong in the new one. I can't. Fox.
Hawks, that's it.
Can't
Yeah.
think of the
And then you
names.
get the what's the one that's the super mutants that they when they use stealth boys they turn purple and get all changed. She's the
Okay.
like gardener lassie in New Vegas. I can't remember what her name is.
Oh,
But
no one
it's
else has played that shite, so don't know.
Oh, that's been a lot. I have completed it, but it's a long time ago.
basically they get obsessed to using stealth boys and it starts affecting their genetics because they obviously the fur virus that they've got, and she turns purple and it's like a night. What is that? A night stalker, a night sun, and that's what she turns into, and you get her as a companion.
Fair enough. Cool. Fallout. Nice.
Go on, Jay. What's yours?
Are we
Well,
going to have
so-
heard of these games? Like, are we old enough to know these games?
It's got
Yeah, I
like
think
15
you might.
words in the
I
title.
think you might have heard of this.
Yeah,
one,
because
so
like
no.
I hear like this Panzer Dragoon and I go,
Well, see, that's a good shout. Panzer Dragoon Saga is a good shout, but it's not quite up there. It's close, and things like Shenmue, Burning Rangers, Resident Evil 2 remake. Dan, I like your T-shirt, but it's got to be. Well, to be honest, it's a tie between Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time.
it's got
But-
to be. Oh, but actually, it's a toss up.
Ocarina of Time just pips it for like the nostalgia, I think. There's the first time I'd ever played anything like it, and it's fucking awesome. Yeah, see, Ian knew.
I
I've
knew.
got-
I was just waiting for you to say it.
I know you knew as well, but yeah, what a fantastic game. I never played, like I said, never played anything like it. Up until now, I've played like 2D, shooters and platformers and action games. And that first sitting in like Link's opening village, and you got to figure out how to get the sword, and then you go through the Great Deku Trees temple, and I was like, what the fuck is this? It's awesome. And then you get out into the Hyrule Field, and it's huge, and you can go in any direction you like. And granted, you can't go some ways because you haven't got the gear and stuff yet, but it just looked amazing, and I just blew my tiny little mind. It did, with the possibilities.
Probably some of the most memorable music tracks in there as well.
The music is incredible. The visuals, even now, I mean, the remake on the 3DS does it wonders, but even the N64 one, I really like it. And as Ian said, you've got Navi going, listen all the time.
Oh yeah, that's not fun.
And yeah, I was just absolutely absorbed into it. I remember, I'm sure I've told this story before, but me and you, great, I think, and our classmates and stuff went to the theatre on the release date of Ocarina of Time with school for, I think it was Inspector Calls or some shit. I remember the stupid details. And
Yeah.
I bought the game before we went in. We went and watched it. We got home about 11 p.m. I turned it on, and I didn't stop until about 9 p.m. Sunday night. And I just obsessed with that game. I was absolutely obsessed. And I only got about halfway through, and then I've spent the next week or so getting through it. And I don't know how many times I've played through Ocarina of Time. Probably, Well, every time they re-release it, definitely.
Yeah, I was about to say you bought 4 or 5 different versions of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got it on the N64. I've got it on the GameCube, the 3DS. Like I said, they just announced it for Switch Online, so I might have to get that subscription so I can play it on there.
At the risk of really pissing you off after some of the statements I've already had tonight, are the Zelda games really that good?
See, now this
That
is the
one
thing.
is.
I love.
I've never played
some of
one
them.
Zelda game.
But the older ones, like the 2D ones or some of like the handheld ones, I'm not
Like, because was Majora's Mask not meant to be like really good apparently?
It was, but it's a bit more tedious. Ocarina of Time is much better.
And
it's
then, like,
almost like a extension more than it's kind of standalone.
The one game that I like, Breath of the Wild, I don't know why I've never picked that up and played it, because I've got the Switch. It's a visually good looking game and things like that. So I don't know why I've never done it. Something about it just doesn't jump out at me.
See what I like about Breath of the Wild, and just to answer Ian's question very quickly, the Master Quest, I played it several times as well. Fucking brilliant. I love it. What I like about Breath of the Wild is it takes Zelda and like that feeling I had when I was a kid, when you walk out onto Hyrule Field and you go, it's fucking huge. What can I like? I can do anything I like, except this time it actually means it. So you can go anywhere you like. You can tackle the dungeons in any order. It's got some sort of physics system. So there was one bit where there was some Bobobkins, whatever they're called, in like a fort. And I set the grass on fire, and it slowly worked its way up to them. And then I went round the other side and sort of attacked them while they were dealing with the fire because they were trying to put it out. And just little details like that, it's just incredible. And the way you can mix up food to create different meals and different elements. So you can use ice in a fire zone to cool things down, or fire in an ice zone to melt things. And it's just amazing how in depth and how open it is, while still giving you like a linear adventure. And
endless possibilities.
Yeah, and as I said, the possibilities that were in my child's mind when I played Ocarina sort of come to life in Breath of the Wild. And the only reason I wouldn't put it above Ocarina is because I've only played it the once, but it was like 200 odd hours that I spent playing that game because I didn't want it to end. So kind of balances out one way or the other. But yeah, fantastic game, absolutely fantastic game. But it's got to be Ocarina of Time. Just until I get around to playing Breath of the Wild again, and then that might pip it, but fantastic.
What you said about the Switch Online, I might jump into it because all the things that they announced, was it last week or a few days ago, kind of all of a sudden tempts me to go, do I go back onto turn my Switch on for the first time in a year and jump into
that's my issue.
games
I need like the old classic Nintendo makes me it makes me want to sort of try this and see what it's like, but I don't know if I will.
You need to get on it. Either if you go back to Ocarina of Time and play that. If I were you, if you can get a hold of a 3DS, I would play Ocarina of Time on there. But even the Switch Online version is no doubt going to be fucking awesome. So yeah, so Zelda for an Xbox podcast. That's what we like to talk about here. So yeah, so obviously that was the end of our 30-day video game challenge extravaganza. We've got a fair few questions from our good friend Kadinch, regular guest contributor, as it were. Some interesting ones he's got in there, and then we're also going to finagle this list again and sort of reuse it in an alternate fashion. So again, if anybody else has got any other questions they want us to answer or to ask each other, hit us up at Xbox Tavern or in the comments or wherever else. Our contact details, you can find them very easily. And yeah, if you've got some good questions, send them our way and we shall answer them for you. Yeah, so gentlemen, video games we've been playing. We've been playing a few video games this week. Let's go with Daniel first.
I've just seen that most of us have been playing it, so it's
going
to
fuck
lead.
My life. Why didn't I read ahead? All right, no, fuck you all. I'm going to go.
Go on, you go first, and we'll finish.
No, you carry on. I could do than that.
You sure? That bad? FIFA is out. FIFA 22. You can hit your trial. So I've been playing that
Game Pass on the EA Access.
So
whatever it's called, EA Play.
Yeah. So fun fact: I usually have major issues trying to download the trial on FIFA. So I can never get in, never get my trial, never get my 10 hours. and it's been like Ross one though. It's something I've complained about for years and years and years. That's why I normally buy like the super duper special edition and get it a few days earlier than normal release. Anyway, this time
very quickly. So why do you have issues? Is it your account or is it?
I have got no idea. I really
just
don't
won't
know.
work.
Yeah,
Okay.
It just never works for me.
He's a little on the slow side, and he's
old.
I mean, I didn't want
Who
to
said
like
that?
lead anyone in there, but I was just curious if it was some sort of technical issue or if it was just.
Well, it is technical.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
technically Dan's a dumbass.
Well, yeah, I mean that could be it. It's never worked for me. Anyway, however, it worked for me this time. Big shout out to Ryan. Thank you very much. I followed his message he sent us on WhatsApp. So got in, been playing it, and I kind of took a few years off FIFA, not really divulging it or jumping into Ultimate Team. Been playing Ultimate Team, and I can't stop. Can't stop playing it. What am I in now? Third, fourth hour of my trial. I've played, God, how many games? 12, maybe 14 games. Only lost once. Drew a fair few. But
Well, stop playing it on beginner then.
No, I play online, unlike you. Yeah, and I'm just loving it. I really am enjoying it. And I had a game on Pro Clubs, like one of the drop-in sessions, and I'm looking forward to when the game finally released, jumping in with everyone else and kind of jumping and playing our Pro Club.
On the point of that, anybody who is playing the trial, Xbox Tavern's Pro Clubs for FIFA 22 is up and running. We have a team established already. It's open to anybody, so if anybody wants to drop in, it's an open invitation. Just search up Xbox Tavern. I think we're Xbox Tavern FC, I want to say.
I can't remember. I've joined, but it's only because we were friends and it automatically
Popped up.
kind of joined me. Yeah.
So,
but yeah,
the team
type
is
in
live.
Xbox. I think I did Xbox Tavern, and it should automatically come up. So far, there's only 3 of us. I think it's you, me, and I think it's either Graham or Ian has joined.
I haven't joined yet.
No, so it must be Ian then. There's only
letting the
3 of us
side down.
so far.
I haven't joined yet either. Do I need to join?
Yeah, usually 10-hour trial. No, actually, you'll get sent off. No, thank you. Yeah, so it's good. I'm going to pass it on to Graham now, because I know he's been playing it. What have you thought of it so far? Because I know you're the regular FIFA man.
Yeah, yes. I mean, the graphics look a bit more cleaner. You can tell all the bigger stars, they look amazing now. They definitely look close to sort of reality a bit more. And yeah, the first touch is improved a lot. The sort of the dribbling kind of thing. You don't just get sponged off the ball straight away when you're sort of deep into sort of enemy territory. If you turn the right way, you can kind of shield it a bit better.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just feels a bit more smoother. They keep smoothing it out year on year, and it just feels that a bit more realistic. Crosses feel a bit more realistic. They don't just sort of go straight to the person, they'll just keep ballooning over. And yeah, the goalies seem to have improved a lot as well. Even
the goalies are like fantastic.
Even a 52 overall goalie made a double save, and I was impressed.
The animations they've added in for some of the goalkeeper ones, like one of them I think is as he dives, he does this like, and kind of this full extension of the arm, and that save looks amazing. Yeah, and as you were saying about the what did they do? They motion capped, didn't they? 11v11, and I think it feels noticeably as you're playing the match. It feels noticeably like a proper game, I guess, is the only way to describe it. Yeah. Like with the movement of the players and stuff.
Is this I've got a massive amount of knowledge of these, but is this the year where they've up-spuffed their technology once again? So they went from the Frostbite engine to whatever the other engine was, and now they've got some other new tech that's, like you said, like motion capturing a full game's worth of players. Or am I just not
sure what they used? It just feels less regimented. There were some things that kept happening in the last game where it's like, if you do this exact same thing, you know what's going to happen. Yeah. You're going to get past them each time. You're going to outrun them each time. And there's just things that, there's a bit more random in the outcomes. Like sometimes you barge through the defender and you get that extra run rather than just losing every time. The defender always catches up with you. You always get taken off of it. Doesn't always happen.
I also feel like as much as the defending's improved, it's become more realistic. I found like I think I've played maybe 3.5 hours maybe, and I've noticed I'm getting a lot more free kicks, but not free kicks in the middle of the pitch. I'm meaning like goal scoring opportunity free kicks, because you can draw a foul out defenders a lot easier in this game. So it's like before they would either would run beside you and barge you off the ball, or you would get past them. Whereas I feel in this one you can make them jump into a tackle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. What's the word? I can't even think. Kind of get that.
Lure.
Yeah,
Lure. Thank you. Yeah, lure the defender.
I've
in.
noticed there's a lot. I've had a lot more free kicks in this one than I've had in previous years.
Yeah, I had 2 penalties in one game as well, just by sort of turning them in.
So I was just going to go off what Jamie asked, like with the kind of as you were saying, did they upspuff their engine or whatever? It feels with FIFA normally you get the same game for 3 years on the bounce. Roughly, you get a little kind of change, and then the 4th kind of year, all of a sudden there's like a drastic improvement in what they do.
Yeah.
So it's like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Oh, guys, we've done this, and all of a sudden you get this massive kind of improvement.
And then they
the
sort of ride this wave for 3 years, going, "It's amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing." And then by the end of like the 3rd year, it's like, FIFA was a bit shit last year. And then they'll bring the last one out and they go, I think I'm going to bother with FIFA anymore. And then FIFA 26 will come and it's like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like I said, I feel there's a drastic improvement in the whole game across the board. Once I play pro clubs, I'll find out. But they've been doing nice little things in Ultimate Team as well, haven't they? Where obviously, I think we spoke about it in the podcast previous, like where they're getting done for betting and stuff like that. Opening packs is classed as betting.
Yeah.
So they're now giving you the chance to preview the pack before you buy it. So you
such
can
a
see
good wee
what's in,
scheme.
yeah, which you can see what's in the pack before you buy it, and I think you get to do that once a day or something.
Once a
Yeah.
day, yeah.
You know,
Once a day. What kind of
Once a
shit
day.
is that?
Wait a minute, for
Well, you
FIFA,
could-
that's a fucking...
Just to preview it, just to
Yeah.
look at it, means you have to
Yeah,
waste your
but-
coins, so you know you're going to get a shit one.
Yeah, but if you open it, you go, "Oh, that's a shit one," and then you can't see the next one.
You don't have to buy it though. You just
Yeah.
you just
So
come out
if
of it
you-
and wait.
If you look and think, oh my god, it's the best player in the game, I'm buying that pack because you've previewed it. However, as you say, you could open 20, 30 packs anyway and you get
Yeah.
sod all.
It's shit. Yeah.
What another thing I
Yeah.
do like about it as well, and I don't know if you've really jumped or noticed much of it there, Dan, but
Yeah.
on the app that you can also check for duplicates. So like if you've maybe got like an untradeable, it then works it. You can then maybe use it to make an informed decision. So like I'm sitting on the app just now and I've managed to just pack a team of the week player in a silver pack. So got me.
Oh.
But say I knew I had him in my squad, but I got him as like an untradeable reward. You
Yeah.
can check for the duplicates and then say, well, this pack's going to cost me 3,000 coins, but I know if I've got this guy on the market, I can sell him for 8,000 coins.
Okay.
So
No,
it's
I haven't-
they're trying their best to make gambling as
legal.
beneficial for the person as possible.
But I mean, I was
So
going to say
there's just like the app. I don't know how that's going to work on the camera, but it's not going to work with
vaguely,
the
yeah.
But like the blue box that's where my finger is there, that says like check for untradeable, check for duplicates. So you could essentially work out your profits based on that.
Okay,
Like-
no, I haven't noticed that.
Say I had that like Douglas Vieira, jump on a FutSpy or
Marketplace,
FutDad
yeah.
or something like that, and double check how much he's going for, and go, oh, he's selling for 6. I'll buy this pack.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did that. I looked at Fernando, the guy from Man City.
Ferran Torres.
Ferran
Yeah,
Torres.
Ferran Torres. And the pack was 7,000 coins, but he only actually sells for about 1,000 coins.
So
I was
you're
like,
like,
I'm not buying that. But I was going to say that they're also throwing free air quote packs at you as well. So you can play this game without spending money. However, obviously, it's FIFA. If you spend money, you're king.
Yeah.
Um,
As per some of the bloody teams I've already been playing against.
Oh, yeah. But
So
anyway,
d-
that's
Does,
my
does
FIFA
your
chat.
does your progress carry over to the full game? I assume when it comes
Yeah.
out in what, next week? Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
first, isn't
October
it?
1st, yeah.
Yeah, so your
And-
10-hour trial will, whatever you amass in this 10-hour trial goes straight over or stays on your account is probably the
Okay.
best word to say.
And
Isn't
so
it out earlier for the pre-order people anyway?
you've got stages, haven't you? So if you've bought the super duper pack, you get it X amount of days early. Is usually the way it works. I think
Yeah,
if you
it's normally how they
pre-order
go,
it, you
isn't
get
it?
maybe a day, etc. etc. It kind of filters down, doesn't it?
Yeah. So cool. FIFA.
I think they've also, just one last quick, I think they've changed the rewards as well. So it used to be that, was it not like tomorrow at a certain time the squad battle rewards dropped for Ultimate Team, and it's now at the weekends or something.
Oh,
yeah, it dropped today.
Yeah.
It happened today.
So they've
Rather
changed that
than
as
Monday.
well. Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Anybody else got any more FIFA stuff? Carry on,
What?
by all means.
Why, are you still thirsty?
Yeah. I've got plenty to go.
I haven't got any more FIFA stuff, but what I do have is
Don't
this
fucking start,
this
Ross.
other interesting football
No,
game. Now, I
don't-
don't know if you've
no.
heard about it, right? It's by a company called Sports
Why
Interactive, and it's
why
called
does me?
Football Manager.
No.
So,
Carry on, Ross.
What's
Carry
the
on.
update?
So let's give us the Football Manager update. I'm very excited. I've been waiting a week for this.
we've finished the first season in the Premier League.
And
It's a congratulations to Bristol City for achieving Europa Conference League football by winning the Carabao Cup. Both teams finished in the top 10. I think Bristol finished 7th and Brentford finished 9th.
Which one are you?
I'm Brentford. I finished lower
Okay.
on the table. I can hold my hands up saying that I had a dreadful
Well-
middle
well
part
done,
of the
Graham.
season. Yep, Graham was the victory of that season.
Other Graham.
Other Graham, yep. So, any pre-season now, the money has hit the bank account for being in the Big Boys League, and 120 million pounds later, both squads have been picked up, fixed, and after podcasting it will be pre-season.
yeah.
So I'll keep it to that. There wasn't any more trophies, and there was no other big shocks for the rest of the season. So
Did you not play each other again?
we did, and it finished 1 each.
Ah.
So it finished 1 each at the Brentford Community Stadium. So as it stands just now, it is 2-1-1 to Graham.
He's got the upper hand.
So we shall see how the second season in the Premier League goes for the Robins and the Bees.
Pardon me. Ian says, who won the league?
No.
I'm loath to ask, but
So Liverpool won the league on the last game of the season.
good. That's enough. Thank you.
The final game of the season actually had a Manchester derby, so City had to beat United to win the league, and they failed. So I think Man United ended up sitting in 4th for the league. Villa, I think, was 3rd. Or was Villa? Villa was 4th. Man United were 3rd. City second.
Yes, please, Beth.
And Liverpool won. And then I think we had Everton and Chelsea, I want to say, was in the other 2 Europa League spots.
Ian,
Ian's asking
Ian,
more questions.
Ian, I love you, but fuck you. You can wait till next week.
I'm
Do
trying
you
to
want me
remember.
to delete that comment?
I'm
Hang on,
trying to
let me
remember the
delete
teams
that
that came up and got relegated. I genuinely can't remember. I know Leicester was loitering around there, but they didn't go down eventually. I think. Oh no, I got Southampton eliminated in the last game of the year by putting 7 goals past them, so their goal difference got them relegated. It finished 7-3, I think, in the last game of the season. So that got Southampton relegated.
The Saints go marching down.
Which is quite handy because I think me and Graham have both got an eye on but 3 or 4 of their players. Now that they're relegated, we'll get them for pennies.
Ian, I'm gonna fucking do you in when I say you shut up.
Is there anything else you need to know, Ian? Well,
Yeah.
think about this. This could be helping him recover from COVID.
Yeah, I was about to say Golden Boot. There we go. Who top scorer?
It was Silvino from Everton.
So it doesn't matter because they're randomly generated. You turd.
Yeah, let's move on.
Right, who hasn't gone yet?
And the
That's me,
goalkeeper
innit?
that got the Golden Glove was
Ross!
Me and you, Jay.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you very much, Ross. I appreciate that. I do enjoy your passion, but
Can I also
Oh,
just say, inadvertently, Beth has sat up for another comment because she's put top goal scorer and then put Ian Hush, which people who don't know football and Liverpool, she's just set that up perfect for me to go on another side thing about different people. But I'll
Ian Hush. Isn't that like what Pro Evo used to call the players?
probably something like that. It was like that and Neil Lemon.
Go on then, Jay.
so this week Ross. No, sorry, next week will we get the preseason update? Will we?
Well, you'll probably get the first couple of games of the season, yes, because it'll be
Fantastic.
on tonight and a few nights midweek. So probably
Good.
might even get the first time that me and him play. 'Cause I think that's the 6th game of the season.
Good. I still think I'm coming down with something notes. I might have to skip something. Graham, Graham.
Yes.
Video games. What have you been playing, sir?
I have been playing and
Don't say
reviewed, and
FIFA.
it's up Lost Judgment, which is an amazing game. Rated it very highly, and I'm glad you steered it my way. It was good off the back of Tales of Arise, which is another cracker, followed on by this one, which is another cracker. This game falls in the series of Yakuza and has literally going to break the whole series for me because it's come so far, and this game is so meta in what it has inside. It's got games within games. I was telling Jay about it every time I come up with something new, and with Jay's favorite of House of the Dead, and it's got its own little mini remake of it called Hammer of the Dead, and you can play it.
Game of the year already.
It's just nuts, the amount of different side games in there. So you can walk into an arcade and play loads of different games like Super Hang-On, and it's even got Virtua Fighter 5 that you can actually play inside the game, as well as Fighting Vipers and the Sonic fighting game. Sonic
the Fighters, yeah.
Yeah, Sonic the Fighters. That's not even the main game. It's just
that's just the side activities.
Side section in there. There's so many different side activities. The game might as well be called Procrastination because you barely get to the main game. But essentially, rather than being sort of a Yakuza mob member, this time you're playing as Tak, who's a private detective who was a lawyer in the previous game. I think he's now sort of set up his own private detectives agency, and he's just getting his rep up. And basically, the whole game has got so much sort of fun and joy about it, but the main storyline is super dark. It's just about a guy who gets arrested, but he got him. You don't know if he did, but he got himself arrested. And at his sentencing, a couple of days later, he pointed out the exact place of where the guy that was accused of bullying his son and caused his son to commit suicide will be found dead. So the bully was found dead, and he knew exactly where he was going to be killed or where his body was, even though he couldn't have done it because he was killed at the time that he got caught groping. So he sort of gave himself an alibi by getting himself arrested. So it was, it's the whole thing about sort of bullying at the school, how sort of kids are around them, pushing people to sort of committing suicide. And gets a bit dark and deep at times. Yeah. But then you just, in the midst of that, you can just run around two massive maps, and there's so many different side activities. You can play a bit of darts, golf, drone racing. There's a virtual reality board game. There's so much different stuff you can do. And then if you're bored with that, you can go back to your own house where you've got a little Master System at your house, and you can turn that on and play a couple of Master System games. One of them being Alex Kidd. So you can literally play old school Alex Kidd. Yeah. You never get to the main game because there's so much other stuff to do. And yeah, it's just massive. So many different things to do and to occupy your time. And yeah, the voice acting in it, they've actually put English in it. A lot of the Yakuza games were just Japanese voice acting with subtitles, but this time they've got English voice acting, and the graphics in it look amazing. So a very big thumbs up for this game.
Almost sounds as good as Shenmue.
Shenmue does. It's nowhere near this. Shenmue's bloody proper dour, whereas this provides a lot of joy.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued to start it. I did hope to try and start it this weekend, but I haven't had time. But yeah, it sounds really good. So you obviously you didn't play the first Judgment, and we had a question about it on Twitter. Like, you're right. Did you feel you were missing anything from just jumping into the sequel, or
not at all? I mean, it just builds you into it. Just who you were, you and your buddy, just starting up a sort of a private detectives agency. I wouldn't have known about all his lawyer previous game, but didn't really feature much. It's kind of referenced every now and then, but it's not like it's a big chunk of what he is. It feels like it could have been like a backstory sort of game.
Yeah. Do you know if there's any sort of like returning characters or anything like that for people who have played the First Judgment?
Yeah, it's kind of referenced a lot. I think of people that were in the previous ones are that your buddies who set up a private detective agency in Yokohama, and so that's who you sort of is part of the main story.
Yeah.
So you go and help them out. So I think they're kind of returning characters. And the guy that you're buddied with, I think he was in it as well, the previous one. Yeah. Just the way they talk and mention him.
Fair enough. So obviously you were on what, Yakuza 4 at this point, were you?
Yeah.
If you finished that one, so you've still got a couple of games
halfway through 4.
Yeah, so you've still got a couple of Yakuzas. Will you get back to them, do you reckon, or as you said, do you reckon this is sort of put you off going back to them now?
I don't think it's put me off because it's a different story. This is involved in Tak, who's a sort of a private detective, whereas Yakuza 1's always been about Kiryu, who's ex-Yakuza, trying to sort of escape from it, and it always keeps catching out to him. So, I mean, if any are bad as 3, then it's got a big struggle, but because Lost Judgment has hit such a high bar, I mean, none of the other games are going to come anywhere near that. I'll be very surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it just goes to show that they're using exactly the same formula and it still works. It's still amazing.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, it does sound really good. Like I said, I love Shenmue, you love Yakuza, and so I think between us, we could team up and say that Lost Judgment could possibly be the best one. But yeah, I'll have to try and give it a go at some point this week, hopefully. It's just fucking long though, isn't it? Like you said, there's a lot to do.
If you get around to it, that's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But maybe one day. Hey.
So I spent a whole 4-hour session. I think I progressed one part of the main story and was just dicking around doing the virtual reality board game and drone race.
Did you see, I mean, obviously we're not big enough for that, but did you see the press kits they sent out to people? They had a full-size skateboard, a fully functioning drone, a jacket, and was it a jacket or something, and some pins. It was a fancy old fucking thing. But yeah, the drone thing. If you said for like the drone racing, that they give them like a real life drone. And I was like, yeah, one day we'll get there.
I'll get this.
It's cool. But that's the thing they've improved on as well, because like running through the map used to be a pain in the ass, but so if you run across the road, you whip out a skateboard so you can just go that bit quicker.
Yeah.
So they've even fixed that part. Like anything that was annoying in the previous games, they kind of addressed.
I mean, I've only seen like the screenshots that were in your review and some little trailers, but it looks incredible as well.
It does. When you get into the main kind of scene, like side activities and stuff, you don't get the voice acting. It's just pictures of their faces and they're reading text and stuff, little face models. But the main the acting part of it, the main story, it does look incredible.
Yeah. I'm very excited. Ross, Dan, any interest in checking out this Lost Judgment or
I always struggle with these sort of games, like as you were saying, like Shenmue and Yakuza. I think they look cool, but I just can't bring myself to get interested in them. So that's my sort of stumbling block for games like that.
I think the older ones are especially Shenmue, is very an acquired taste, but I think something like Lost Judgment perhaps might be a bit more of a broader sort of catch, with a bit, like as Gray said, with so much going on. Daniel, any interest? I know you're not going to fucking finish it, but will you even try it?
What, is it on Game Pass?
Will you install it?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that one. Not Lost Judgment, no.
If it was free, maybe, but yeah, nobody's got time. Well, I say nobody's got time. I've not got time for a 50, 60-hour game. I'm bad enough I can't even do a 20-hour game, let alone a free one that's that big. But I have been seeing all the kind of the hype around it and how people have been enjoying it. So, if that's the type of thing you like, go for it.
Yeah, happy days. It does seem to be getting a lot of good reviews. And again, you can check out Graham's on Xbox.com, where he gave it, was it a 9.4? I think ended up something like that, was it?
Yeah, it was pretty high.
One of the highest rated games on our site this year. So
nice, definitely
worth a look. Cool. And obviously you've been playing FIFA. Have you played anything else?
Don't go back there, Jay.
Yeah, that's why I just wanted to see, because you already talked about FIFA. I thought
yes, my ultimate team's going well. I'm enjoying it. I don't want to stretch that one out.
Cool. All right, that's enough of that before we get too deep down the rabbit hole. I guess it's me next, isn't it? Really. What have I been playing this week? I started Sable. It's all right. Not really my cup of tea, though, to be honest. Despite the fact it's basically Zelda without the combat, I didn't really get on with it very much at all. Quake on the PC. I went back to the original, like the remaster. It's very good. Much better on the PC, obviously, mouse and keyboard. I was fucking flying through it. I don't know if you guys like that sort of old school first person shooter stuff, but yeah, I was loving it. I was fucking smashing some shit out. I had a great time. Did about 6 or 7 levels, and then I had to stop and do parenting. But yeah, that was a great time. I loved it. But the main one, really, that I've been sort of stuck into for the last week or so, really, is Origami 2. So this is great. It's one for you. It's just pure stealth game.
Stealth. I know.
The combat in it, there is combat, but to be honest, it's pretty fucking naff. So I try to avoid it at all times. But yeah, it's proper old school. It reminds me of like a PS2 game, both in terms of its feel and its look.
Takes ages to load.
It loads quickly. That's about its only redeeming feature in that respect. But yeah, like the stealth is real simple. So it's sort of similar to something like Dishonored, where you've got powers where you can shoot up to the rooftops, or you can do like a teleport across a short distance, or you can attack I forget what they're called, but it's basically like a torch, and you can make it explode and knock enemies out and stuff. But it's nowhere near as refined as Dishonored. So as I said, it all looks the visuals are sort of very PS2 or early X360 era visuals. And if you're on, say someone's walking on the floor, you've only got to be like a box height and they can't see you. So it's not like they've got a massive field of view, at least on the difficulty I'm playing on. But it's really good. I'm very much enjoying it. It does get quite tough at points because there's a lot of enemies patrolling around, and you've got to sort of sneak in and get an objective and get back out and get back to the exit again. And yeah, if you ever played the old school Tenchu games, it's very much reminiscent of them, very much reminiscent of how they felt and played, but with a bit more of a sheen to it. Yeah, really good on Game Pass. So yeah, highly recommend checking that out, especially if you love stealth games like Graham.
No.
Like I said, you can go balls to the wall and just fight everyone, but it's fucking dreadful, honestly. There's some sort of parry system and some sort of like dodge system, but it doesn't work. Again, I'm old, so it doesn't really work for me. But it's just nah.
Yeah, parries don't count if he's already hit you.
Yeah, you got to avoid combat at all times, really, because if you get more than one person fighting you, you're fucked. But yeah, missions are quick. The only thing that I don't really like, other than the combat, is that after each mission, you go back to like a hub world, and you've got to run from one end to the other to talk to someone, and then run from that way to the back to accept the next mission. Whereas you could quite happily just accept the next mission without any of the faff in between. So that kind of drags it out a little bit. But there's powers to unlock and skills to learn and stuff. And yeah, if you love stealth games, it's definitely worth a check out. Again, Game Pass, it's free. Why not? Give it a go. Yeah, that's about it. I've been playing other stuff, but I can't talk about them yet. And that's it, really. So
sounds good.
Short and sweet for me this week, because that's the way we roll. Cool. So as we head into sort of the closing sections of the show, Ross, anything new to Game Pass this week?
We have. So we've got a couple of games coming up. Both of them are coming on the 30th. And I'm probably going to butcher this first one. But Astria Ascending and Unsighted, both out on the 30th this week.
Happy days. Is Lemniscate out this week?
Was that not last week? Hold on a minute. I've got all.
Lemniscate
was the 23rd.
That's what I thought, but it's not out yet. I'm sure it's not out yet.
Because I'm sure we ran over that last week as well, because you highlighted that one.
Yeah, that's a fantastic looking game. But
I know.
I checked. I went to download it the other day, and it's definitely not around yet. But I can't. The date seems to have moved around a lot when I've been looking.
And I know Ian's not here, so I scouted ahead and checked the games that were leaving. So I was organised for one part of the podcast.
See, someone knows what they're doing.
Yeah. So leaving, all of these are leaving on the 30th as well. You've got Drake Hollow, Iconfell, Night in the Woods, and Warhammer Vermintide 2.
Yeah, that's a game people need to play. That's a very good.
That's like a Left 4 Dead style game, bit in the Warhammer world, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not a bad game for a Game Pass game. It was good. It was raved about. How many years ago? 2 years.
Yeah, it must be about
that. Yeah,
1-2 years old here.
And we have
Interesting.
some awesome games coming out in October for Games Pass. Two especially jump out.
Right. And also Lemnis Gate apparently 28th.
28th. Let's do
2
that.
days.
2 days. I can't wait to give that a fucking go. I'm well excited about that. Again, I know I'm going to be utter shit at it, but I'm well looking forward to playing it. What? Give us a quick tease, Ross. What's coming out in October? I know one of them, but I can't think of the second one.
Tease.
So I'm presuming you're talking about Age of Empires 4, yeah?
Oh, fuck off.
27th of October. No? No, am I the only one?
yeah.
No,
just
I
you.
couldn't get into that bit.
RTS games, man. It's brilliant.
No.
Back 4 Blood. There we go. 12th of October.
There we go. That's the one we want.
So
That'll be exciting.
couple, not for everybody's cup of tea, but a couple of big titles coming out next month.
Yeah. And they seem to just have taken quite the enjoyment lately of going like, oh, by the way, Game Pass, here's a load of games at once without really sort of pre-warning anyone. So we'll have to keep an eye on them and update as and when.
Yeah, they've done a good job.
Graham, games
Yes.
at gold.
So we've got Warhammer Chaos Bane from September the 1st to the 30th. You have Mulaka from September the 16th to October 15th, and Samurai Showdown 2 from September the 16th to the 30th.
Lovely. So again, download them. Even if you're not interested now, you can play them at your leisure and at a later date. Perhaps you'd like to show your children in 20 years' time. Have you ever heard of Mulaka? Let's check it out. Be some sort of retro classic, perhaps. You never know.
Not to be confused with Malarkey.
Indeed.
Oh, I was going to say
Indeed.
something else there. Go on, keep going.
And I think, unless anyone else has got anything they'd like to bring up, I think that's about us for the week.
No,
I think so.
That is all.
Ross, how you feeling? Did you make it all right? You're looking all right. He's silent.
Yeah, we
but
can't hear you, dude. But all right, you're
got
eating
some
straps.
Malams.
My Malam stripes have greatly helped through the podcast.
Good.
Shout out to
I'm glad
Malam
you
if they
made
want
it.
to sponsor us.
Glad you made it. I wasn't
Bit of
sure.
Sugar boost.
Yeah. I now apparently have a podcast to edit and about 4 hours of Football Manager to play, so I might
Well,
die tomorrow.
I mean, you can drop one or the other, really, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
I
know which
suggest
one.
Football Manager.
But yes, thank you very much. If you made it this far for listening, you're a fucking hero, and we love you. Now it's time for the pluggles, as we like to get to.
yeah!
I've composed myself this week. Last week, fucking.
I
messed me
noticed
up.
you noticed it.
Messed me up. Yeah. So again, you can join us on YouTube every Sunday at 8 p.m. ish for this Fine Here podcast. And again, episode 50 is coming up, where we're going to be giving away some games and some other tips and tricks and prizes and stuff. So make sure you join us on youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official at 8 p.m. ish on Sunday. It'll be the 10th, won't it?
Hang on a second. Oh,
It's
my,
the
my-
Friday
my
is the
calendar.
8th, so yes, it should be the 10th.
10th, yeah.
10th?
And we'll be around, and you can follow us on Twitter at Xbox Tavern. You can go to xboxtavern.com to check out all of our written stuff, as well as articles and all kinds of exciting stuff going on there. And most importantly, you can follow me at ENXAN, and you can follow Daniel at
Chocolate About 80.
you can follow Ross,
Chaotic 8389.
and you can follow Graham.
At Graham Reaper.
And you can also follow Ian at Nutty Ray. Like, give him a shout out because he's been in the chat. And even though he's hit poorly with the old COVIDs, we still love you. So get well soon, Ian. Hopefully you'll be back next week. And you can give us more shit for not playing games or not finishing games or being shit at games or whatever else you'd like to give us shit for.
Or maybe
sure
we'll
you'll-
give him some shit.
Or maybe we'll give him some shit. Who
Yeah.
knows? The
Let's
world
fight
is our
back.
oyster. But yes, thank you very much, everybody. It's been a pleasure. And hopefully we will see you again next week, and especially for episode 50.
Bye.
Do we have anything else we need to wrap up? Have we missed anything? I feel like we've missed something.
We might have missed something.
Have we missed something?
No.
We usually
Maybe
miss
an
something.
insert coin plug.
Well, we could have, but oh well.
I'm going to stop recording now.